I want to talk about an opinion that I've heard various people espouse. You don't really hear this opinion too often in the mainstream media. I might have heard Sean Hannity say something kind of like it once, but typically it's espoused by everyday people, the common man, the common woman. You know, if I was a politician, I might call them America's working men and women.
You know, morons.
And what it is actually a foreign policy position that tends to be espoused by people in the South, but also people from areas like New York or New Jersey. It can happen all around the country, but it seems especially prevalent in those areas. And what the position is this. Man, them Muslims is just a bunch of damn savages. I say we just nuke the whole Middle East, put an end to that problem right there, man. You know, problem solved. We got the Obama fiddle fucking around in the White House, you know, sitting on his fist and leaning back on his goddamn thumb, instead of pushing the button and blowing the shit out of the Middle East full of ISIS and the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, and they all up in there plotting against America, and every goddamn one of them Muslims hates America and wants to destroy it. So I say, we go over there and destroy them first. Putting aside the obvious things wrong with that statement, do you realize that there are sizable Muslim populations in Africa, India, and Asia as well? Do you want to bomb those too? What about Dearborn, Michigan? There's a lot of Muslims there. Should we bomb Dearborn, Michigan? Or should we, kick those people out, send them to the Middle East before we bomb it? I mean, how are we doing this? Also, this whole nuke the Middle East thing, I mean, you realize that if we nuked an area that large of the planet, the entire globe would be dealing with massive fallout from that radiation, right? You realize that it doesn't just stay confined to that area, you know, it's going to spread around. It's going to get in the oceans, just like the radiation from Fukushima is now in the oceans. But of course, the worst part of this idea, if you can even call it an idea, is the callous disregard for human life. You know, the idea that there's some radicals and extremists in this region of the world, so we should just destroy that entire region of the world, good people and bad people alike. Well, I guess people who espouse this just believe there are no good Muslims. There are no Muslims that don't want to destroy America. There are no Muslims who don't want to hurt Americans. You know, they're just all terrorists, from the smallest infant to the oldest man hunched over with a cane. They just all despise America and want to see it burn. Every single one of them. Another thing is that America has not exactly always been filled with the nicest people. I mean, come on. We have found throughout our history plenty of ways to torture, abuse, enslave, exploit, whatever, tons of different groups of people. You know, when this country started, if you were white and you were male and you were rich enough to own land, then you're pretty good. If you don't meet those three criteria, America kind of sucks dick for you. Imagine if some technologically superior country existed at that time, looked at America and said, you know, these Americans, they're fucked up. They got slavery. They don't let their women vote. They're exploiting the Chinese. They're exploiting the Irish. Look at them. They're horrible, horrible people. We should just nuke America off the face of the fucking earth. But then, you know, we wouldn't have had this opportunity to grow as a country, to bring more people in under the protection of the big tent, you know? And I'm not saying we're perfect, because we're not, but we've made a lot of progress. If someone had just killed us because we were savage fucks 200 years ago, we never would have had a chance to get past that. Now, as I said, this sentiment is very prevalent in the American South, and I think that's obvious why, because they're just a bunch of regressive, knuckle-dragging fucking cavemen. But why is it so popular in places like New York and New Jersey? Well, New York It's popular because they suffered the 9/11 attack, so it's a more emotional issue for them. New Jersey, they're just doing it because they're always trying to imitate what New York is doing, only act like they're doing it better, even though they're doing it, worse. But the ironic thing is that if we started bombing places just because there are some assholes there, I don't know about you guys, but New York and New Jersey, they'd be pretty high on my list of places filled with assholes. I mean, the entire New York mentality is like, you in my fucking way? Get the fuck out of my way! If bombing the Middle East isn't the most logical solution, then how do we actually deal with the problem of extremist Islam? I think we deal with it the same way that people like Christopher Hitchens dealt with it. By simply taking a stand and letting them know that our freedom of speech trumps their religion every time, 10 times out of 10. Your religious beliefs are your religious beliefs, and you are free to abide by them. But no one else in the world has to abide by your religion's rules. It's like John Oliver the other day was talking about Canada and how it's actually illegal for a foreign entity to try to sway the Canadian election. Like if I were to say, fuck Harper, you Canadians better vote against him. That's illegal. But Canada can't do anything to me. I don't live in fucking Canada. I'm not subject to their laws. It's the same with this Islamic shit. You're not allowed to draw a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. No, you're not allowed to draw a cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. I'm not Muslim, so I'm free to do whatever the fuck I want. So, how can these people stand on any sort of moral high horse and say, we need to nuke the Middle East, we need to kill all these fucking Muslims? The ironic thing is that the reason they want to do this is because they think Muslims are violent. Muslims just want to kill us all. Well, how the fuck are you any different? You're sitting there in your fucking comfortable couch, watching your fucking television set, falling asleep every night on your fucking recliner with your bulbous belly hanging out of your fucking shirt if you're even civilized enough to be wearing one. And you're like, bomb the fucking Muslim, man. Kill them all, because they're violent and want to kill us all. Do you see how that makes no fucking sense? By your own logic, you should be killed. By your own logic, you should die. I'm no pacifist. I believe that if there is good intelligence, that some Muslim terrorists are planning some shady shit, kill them. Drone strike them into fucking oblivion. I don't give a fuck. If you have some Muslims that have already committed acts of terrorism, kill them. Kill them. But don't kill everyone around them because, obviously they must approve of what's going on or what? And if you look at statistics about the Muslim world and just opinion polls from Muslims, it's clear that there are a troubling number of Muslims who are more comfortable with violence than they should be. But that doesn't mean that they themselves are terrorists. And there are still plenty of Muslims who completely admonish terrorism, who completely admonish any sort of violence. There are 1.57 billion Muslims. That's 23% of the world's population. You want to kill 23% of the world's population. You want to kill 1.57 billion people. That would be 260 times as many as died in the Holocaust. You're basically advocating that our country become 260 times worse and more evil than Adolf Hitler. By the way, China and Russia are not just going to stand idly by as we nuke the Middle East and get rid of all the damn Muslims. You know why? Because they have interest in that region, just as we do. So not only would we be fucking ourselves and our own interests in that region, we would be agitating Russia and China, potentially leading to World War III and perhaps even the extinction of the human fucking race. It's rare that I get to confront an idea that is so bad that its implementation might very well lead to the extinction of the entire species. That is a stunningly bad idea. And yet, you hear these motherfuckers from sea to shining sea. Kill them all, kill the Muslims, wipe them out. No, bad idea. Incredibly stupid idea for a plethora of fucking reasons. I can't believe that I've actually had to seriously stand here and take it on. Well, I guess I didn't have to. But goddamn, you would think someone would have taken these fuckers to task by now before me. I guess everyone's just like, well, that's so stupid, it's not even bothering with. Not even worth bothering with. But, like I said, I've heard it since I was a kid. I continue to hear it to this day. Next time you're anywhere and you hear someone say this, there's a 2-word response to it that I want you to memorize. Fuck you. I don't care who it is. I mean, in all disclosure, if I'm sitting around and, if for some reason I'm sitting in someone's living room and they're like a crazy white supremacist with a swastika carved in their head and like giant prison muscle arms and, teardrops tattooed to their face for all the men they've killed, and they're like, I think we should just bomb the Middle East and kill all them damn towel heads. I'm probably just gonna be like, yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Correct. I'm gonna go now, but you're right on that. But if it's anyone short of that, take them to fucking task. If you hear your mommy or daddy or your friend or your friend's mommy or daddy or your crazy uncle or whoever, if someone says that, your response should be, fuck you. You're insane. If ever you are given a position of power, no matter how small it is, I don't care if you're, you don't even belong working at McDonald's or something. Running the cash register at McDonald's is too much power for someone like you to have. You should get a job as like a grave digger or something. Something where you don't have to interact with anybody and you're not allowed to tell anyone what to do. You're just someone who only other people can tell them what to do. Because if you're this fucking stupid that you're going to espouse that level of retarded bullshit, then you literally can't be trusted with any responsibility whatsoever in our society. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. I guess that's about all I have to say on the issue. I'm the Amazing Atheist. Peace the fuck out. Subscribe to my channel. Oh yeah.